Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reacting to some Am I the A-hole family drama that gave me goosebumps. Well, let's get started.
Am I the arsehole for telling my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend to stop treating me like a surrogate? Story time. So I was with this guy called Steve for 3 months before he decided he was going to go back to his ex, who we'll call Amy. Wow, that's a lot. So just after we broke up, I found out that I was pregnant and I was 24 weeks along. I told Steve about it, he was over the moon, and it turned out that Amy couldn't have kids due to some health situations that she was going through. And I knew that Steve had always wanted to be a dad, so I knew that this would mean a lot to him. We decided that we wouldn't get back together and he would stay with Amy. Anyway, we found out on our first scan that I was actually having twins. He told Amy and Amy did not take this news well. So one day I get a text from Amy and she's like, please can you come over to our place? And she said that she'd really like to be a part of the pregnancy as much as possible because she would eventually be stepmom to the twins. She decided that she wanted to give me advice on how to have a home birth, a certain way to feed the babies, and what they would want to call.
Your ex's new girlfriend is not going to give you any advice on giving birth to kids, especially twins. What do you mean? This sounds crazy, okay? That sounds suspicious because that smells like control. Let's just hear the whole story.
And what they would want to call her when they came. I was a little bit shocked by all of this because I was like, oh, my pregnancy, like my birth, I'll make my own choices. So I decided
exactly.
She didn't.
Yeah.
Stop, though. She texts me every day asking what I was eating, how much I was exercising, what I was doing at work. She even joined a genetics counselling meeting with me and tried to make it all about her family history. I'm not too really sure how you think this works, Amy, but there's none of your DNA going on here. And when it was time for a really important scan, Steve wanted Amy to come with me instead of him. But I was like, no. At this meeting, I found out the gender and I shared it on my social media, as everybody does. But then Amy posted a pregnancy announcement about how she was going to have babies, just in a different way. And this really flipping bothered me, but of course I didn't really want to say anything. Amy even went as far as to have a gender reveal party for herself.
No.
And she put it online. But I hadn't been invited.
Absolutely
to this gender reveal.
no.
She's even planning a baby shower. I was getting really wound up.
I am shocked right now. Like I said in the beginning, I felt something suspicious. One, because the new girlfriend cannot have babies, and since you are pregnant with a baby from your ex, she got excited, obviously. So she's trying to control everything at this point. This sounds very weird and controlling. I really think you need to get away from her. This is not acceptable. I think she does not have her boundaries clear. Like,
so I commented on a post telling her to stop treating me like I'm a surrogate, and I very much reminded her that the children would not be hers when they arrived. I then messaged Steve and I was like, listen, I'm not going to come round again because I need to sort some things out legally here because this woman is scaring me. And that now Steve would not be invited to the birth and my mum would be my only birthing partner. Now Steve and Amy's parents are calling me names. So what do you think? Am I wrong here?
No, you're definitely not the a-hole, my dear, because what is this? You were pregnant, you're carrying your ex's children. He's obviously excited because his new girlfriend is probably having issues and she won't be able to give birth, but this does not make it acceptable for the new girlfriend to be coming into your life and assuming that these are going to be your kids. Absolutely not. Run.
Am I the asshole for prioritizing my sister's wedding over my girlfriend's birthday after she gave me an ultimatum? I feel I need to start this video by addressing my hair. Volume is never a problem.
Your hair is beautiful.
Looking like I'm from the 70s is. My girlfriend Lisa and I have been together for 2 years. She has a milestone birthday coming up. She's been planning her celebrations for months.
Okay.
She's so excited because she feels like all of her past birthdays haven't been celebrated properly. And as this is a milestone birthday, she wants to make sure that this is celebrated properly. Here's where things get complicated. My sister Jane recently had to move up the date for her wedding because of a family member's health issues. This new date happens to fall on the same weekend as Lisa's birthday. It's going to be a small, intimate ceremony, and as Jane's only sibling, she wants me to be a part of the wedding party. It's really important to her, and to be honest with you, it's really important to me as well. When I told Lisa, she was devastated. She said that her birthday should be my priority because I'd known about it for such a long time. She was upset that I'd been missing a celebration that she had carefully planned for so long, and especially because my absence would be so noticeable. I suggested celebrating on a different day.
That sounds super entitled. First of all, your hair is gorgeous, girl, and that does not make any sense. That really does not make sense. A birthday is something that is gonna come another year. Sister's wedding is probably is going to happen once. You absolutely need to prioritize your sister. There's no argument there. Like, what is even this friend talking about? Are you even her friend when you even propose that? Listen, I understand that the friend feels some type of way trying to get her birthday to look perfect, everything to look immaculate, yes, but the entitlement should not be like this, especially when it comes to your family. They need to understand and let it go. This is not that big of a deal, especially if it's just the birthday. It's going to happen again the next year. Yeah, the moment the friend gave you an ultimatum, the relationship there is over. There is no argument there. A wedding is a lot more significant than the birthday. I'm sorry. On this occasion, you are not the a-hole, but let's just continue to the rest of the story. But I'm like literally shocked that friends are entitled like this.
Or flying back the next morning to be with her, but she said no. Things then escalated when she gave me an ultimatum. Either I attend her birthday party and miss my sister's wedding, or the relationship's over. She said this is a test of my commitment, and that if I loved her, I would put her first. I tried to explain that my sister's wedding was a once-in-a-lifetime event for our family, but Lisa insisted that I was choosing my family over her. My family thinks it's obvious that I should just be at the wedding, but some of our mutual friends argue that birthdays are significant in a relationship, and I agree, but it's my sister's wedding. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I can't be in two places at once. So what do? I'm going to hatch a guess and say that this woman isn't right for you. And if you miss your sister's wedding, you will regret that forever. But I really hope you come back to us and tell us what you did.
Yeah, you are not the a-hole, obviously. If the friend was smart enough, she would have just moved the party for another day. She would have understood the situation if it was that significant for her. A wedding is something that you cannot really move. It takes years or months to plan a wedding. This is not something that should be escalated this way. I am shooken, and let's just move on to the next one. You are not the a-hole. So the next story is going to be a subreddit from the AITA, so am I the a-hole? And I'm going to be reading it from Goodstill6474. Am I the a-hole for refusing to change my baby's name after I named her after my dad's affair partner? I guess let's see. I, 26 female, just gave birth to my daughter Annabelle. I didn't announce it beforehand because in the past, one of my family members stole a baby name and it created a lot of drama. My mom wanted to know if I was adamant, did I read that right? On keeping it a secret. My mom and dad was in the room when I gave birth, and when it was time for me to sign the birth certificate, my mom asked for the name and I told her Annabelle. Her face went pale. My dad didn't look happy, but he said he loved the name. My mom left a few minutes later, claiming she didn't feel well. She said she'll come over in a few days to help me with the baby. Mom knows something, I'm telling you. Literally, what are they hiding? Now I'm at home with a baby and my mom hasn't talked to me that much. We used to talk every day and now I'm confused by this sudden behavior. My sister Emily lives with mom still, so I called her over to talk. When she got to my house, she explained how she overheard dad and mom arguing because 10 years ago, dad had an affair with a coworker named Annabelle. My mom hasn't been talking to him and he is trying to get her to talk. I guess dad, realizing that Emily had come over, decided to come over himself. He asked if there's any way that I could change Annabelle's name. I asked him why to see if he will tell me the truth, and he did. He admitted to the affair. He begged mom not to leave him and she stayed. But just hearing the name had put her all into the bad headspace. I understand I understand. This is horrible. This is horrible. I told him I can't, and that Annabelle was the name of my husband's grandmother who helped to raise him. My dad begged and pleaded me to change it, saying Mom was in the middle of packing her bags and heading over to her sister's house. I told him I won't change her name and that it means so much to me and my husband. He began to raise his voice. Immediately my sister yelled back and told him to get the hell out. This is some juicy drama. Juicy. I really don't like this. What are you supposed to do in a situation like that? I wonder. I can't even imagine. Okay. She told him not to stress out about the mess he created. He left immediately. I'm not changing my baby's name, but I feel like it's tearing my family apart. What should I do? I have no words. I completely understand where your family is going, what your family is going through, but it's definitely your choice on naming your baby. And if your mom already agreed on forgiving your father, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Your mom made a choice 10 years ago, and now you're making a choice to name your child the name you always wanted, and that means so much to you. So you are not the a-hole. I completely understand your mother and her point of view, but she can't get mad over something that you did not even know. This is a little bit of a childish behavior to me, and I don't really think it's unreasonable. We have an edit, by the way. Annabelle isn't her real name. Her real name only has 3 letters, so nickname based off her name wouldn't be possible. And a lot of you suggested to change her first name to her middle name, but her middle name is my mom's name, and I don't want to change that. Understandable. Yes, you're definitely not the a-hole, and you should not change your baby's name if you really love it. This is not your situation that you put yourself into. Let me read some of the comments. Not the a-hole, but your daughter is going to deal with most of the backlash, so brace yourself for it. Yeah. Underrated comment, I really think so. And unless the OP's mom truly gets over this, she will pull out of hate on the OP's daughter. This is ridiculous because this is not something that should be held responsible by just your daughter and your granddaughter. You made the choice of forgiving your husband who cheated on you with Annabelle, apparently. Yeah, this is really weird. And your father raising his voice at you is just immediately a red flag. Immediately red flag. Okay, there's another comment. Call your mom, tell her you're sorry and had zero idea about any of this. Tell her if she wants to, she can call your daughter by her first and middle name. That might give her some separation, or make a nickname. Tell your mom everything you know about Grandma Annabelle. She liked to knit, she had an infectious laugh, her eyes were blue, she did ballet, and she needs mental separation from her husband's fling. As far as an affair, Dad needs to figure that out. That is between them. Agreed. And if your baby uncovered feelings, then that's their problem, not yours. They need therapy or split, not the a-hole. And I completely agree. This is not a responsibility of your own. Next, I'm going to be reading a subreddit, Best of Redditor Updates, Lucy Area Rose, and she's asking, am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law to get out of my daughter's baby shower? Interesting. Let's see. I, 47, female, have a daughter, 25. She's currently 26, pregnant with her second child, a girl. Her first child, Philip, was stillborn 2 years ago, at 38 weeks. A little boy. Oh, I'm so sorry. When she lost him, she asked us to take part of the nursery before she got home and got rid of the baby equipment. She saved his baby book with ultrasound photos and the outfit she planned to bring him home in, along with a lock of his hair in the memory box. She had a baby shower for Philip when she was pregnant, but her grief around his death was so strong that she couldn't handle having the nursery and baby things. She offered to return the baby shower gifts to the givers, and Most of them kindly refused and asked us to donate the items, except my husband's sister, Rachel, 43. She made a huge deal of my daughters being hysterical and constantly loud, talked about how ridiculous it was to take apart the nursery. We kept her away from my daughter and only allowed her to return to family functions when she promised to stop bringing it up. We recently had a baby shower for my daughter's new baby girl. Rachel, along with her rest husband's female relatives, was invited. She kept making quiet remarks to everyone that she was tacky for having a baby shower for a second child, but since she didn't get near my daughter, I ignored it. When my daughter began opening gifts, it hit fan. She loudly said, "If you hadn't torn Film's nursery apart and got rid of everything, you wouldn't be here begging for presents for this baby." Absolutely not. Get out. Get out. Get out. My daughter froze and stared off into space. Tears started running down her face and said, "Rachel, please leave." She refused and started arguing with me. I took her present out of the pile, walked out the door and threw it out and yelled, "Get out now." Exactly. Get out. That's the window. Get out. And my husband came into the room and asked what happened. His mom told him he physically picked up his sister and put her down outside the door. Period. Thank you. Now the family is divided over whether I should have yelled her to get out and thrown her present away. Yeah, absolutely. You are not the a-hole, my dear. There is an update. We're having a family meeting without Rachel while my daughters and their partners are away at Hot Springs this weekend. We'll update again this meeting. So this was in March 12th, and I'm waiting for the update. Maybe we'll see it in the next video. Let's read some of the comments. Not the a-hole. If anything, you were overly generous about trying to ignore her cruel, thoughtless remarks prior to final horrific outburst. Your daughter's welfare was a priority and must remain so. Exactly. I can't imagine how heartbreaking the loss of a baby was, and reminded of that was callously and unbelievable. Your sister-in-law took a joyous occasion, one full of hope and promise, and poured acid all over it. That is exactly what she did. You and your husband both should be commented on your restraint. I hope your daughter enjoys healthy pregnancy and that your granddaughter brings you all much joy. That is a beautiful comment, and yes, that is what I wish for you as well, for your daughter specifically. Bring some peace into this family. This sister-in-law is super toxic. We really don't want that into our family. Let me just read another comment. Not the a-hole. Honestly, if she had done and said that in front of my daughter, I would have picked her up myself and tossed her ass into the street and probably would have punched her in a few times. Also, she is a wretched person. I would cut all the contact with her. That's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. You're not the a-hole. You did the right thing. You stood up for your daughter, and I'm glad your husband did that too. Alright, you guys, that is all for today. Goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.